Hello and welcome to UniExam IAS platform. In today's art and culture lecture, we are going to discuss a very important topic related to examination, that is UPSC and PCS, and the topic is Indus Valley Art. You need to remember that this topic, Indus Valley Art, and the related topic Indus Valley Civilization is very important from exam point of view, and many questions have been asked in previous years. That is the reason why this important topic you need to remember very well. Now, before going through this topic, I would like to tell you about the Indus Valley Civilization in brief. Then after we will go in detail in this topic, that is Indus Valley Art. Now let's get started. First of all, I would like to tell you about the Indus Valley Civilization. When we talk about Indus Valley Civilization, this civilization is also known as the name by Harappan Civilization. Harappan Civilization, it is called so because this Indus Valley Civilization was first excavated in the city of Harappa, and according to the archaeological principles, the first site where it is excavated, it is known by this name. That is the reason why Indus Valley Civilization is also known by this Harappan Civilization. These are interchangeably used, that is you need to remember. Now from exam point of view, what are the important points you need to remember? So first point you need to remember that it is the oldest Bronze Age civilization. Now when we see that Bronze Age civilization term, what does that mean? You need to remember that humans first used the metal that was copper. Copper was the first metal used by human. As we go through the ages, we also use other metal. By the time human amalgamated this copper with tin, and then after we come to the Bronze Age. That is the reason why when we talk about the Bronze Age civilization, that means it is that part of Indian history or the world history, that civilization where humans were using amalgamation of copper and tin, that is bronze. That is the reason why when we talk about the Indus Valley civilization, it is also called the oldest Bronze Age civilization where humans were using bronze as a metal. When we talk about the chronology, when we talk about the timing, what was the time period of that civilization? So you need to remember that it was, can be seen line 2600 to 1900 BCE, that is near about 4500 years ago. That is when we talk about the Indus Valley civilization, it was oldest, as much old as like 4500 years from present, before present PP. Now you also need to remember about the geographical extent of that civilization. This Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan civilization was widespread from northwestern India to the Deccan region. There were many important sites, and also you need to remember that the forms, the characteristics of that Indus Valley civilization are relevant even today in many ways. That is the reason why in general studies paper, UPSC had asked a question related with Indus Valley civilization, and the question was related with the relevance of Indus Valley civilization. The question was, they were asking how the various inputs of Indus Valley civilization are relevant even today. So this topic is not only important from historical point of view, also you need to remember about the relevance of that topic. Like, these are some important points. Now if I go through or try to tell you about the other points of Indus Valley civilization. So as you know, it is originated late 3rd millennium BCE that is, it is near about 4500 years old civilization. I had also told you about it is the oldest Bronze Age civilization. That means there were other Bronze Age civilization. If you have read about the old world history or the ancient world history, you would have come through three oldest Bronze Age civilization. What are the three oldest Bronze Age civilization? The first is the ancient Egypt civilization, which flourished in the Nile River Valley. Which river valley? Nile River Valley. And also the second is the Mesopotamian civilization, which we can see in Iraq region. Indus Valley civilization is the third oldest Bronze Age civilization. All three were contemporary. But you need to remember that this Indus Valley civilization was not only the one of the oldest civilization, but also it was geographically widespread civilization in Indian subcontinent region. Now, you also need to remember that this civilization was widespread in various river sites. It was basically a river valley civilization which developed in the valleys of Indus River, and also there used to be a river which is called Saraswati, the mythical Saraswati river, which today is known by a name Gaggar Hakra river. That is the reason why it is also called a Indus Saraswati, that is Gaggar Hakra river region, which was flowing through contemporary northwestern India and eastern Pakistan region. Now you know about its geographical territory, the river valleys in which it was developed. Also you need to remember some major sites of this civilization, like the two very important sites of this civilization were, first one, the Harappa region, which I told you was the first site which was excavated. The second one is Mohenjo-daro. This was the second site. Both are called like twin capital of Indus Valley civilization. They were also situated nearby a river. That Harappa site was located on the banks of Ravi river, and this Mohenjo-daro was situated on the bank of Indus river. There are some important sites also like Lothal, Dholavira, they both are in Gujarat. Rakhi Gadi, which has been excavated recently and is thought to be the largest site of Harappan civilization, that is situated in Haryana. We also have a site in Punjab called Ropar. We have a site in Rajasthan called Kalibanga, and also Balathal is also situated in Rajasthan. It is also thought that it is not only widespread but also its population was also very big. At its peak time, its population is estimated to be have exceeded near about more than 5 lakh people. Now you can only imagine its vastness and also what kind of people were living in that civilization. Now look at the map. There is a map which is given which depicts about Indus Valley civilization. You can very well see Indus Valley civilization, its mature phase was in 2600 to 1900 BC, and you can also see the various cities which were situated in that region. Like you can see the Harappa, which was situated along the Ravi river. You can also see the Ganeriwala. You can also see the Rakhi Gadi. You can also see Kalibanga, Banavali, Ropar. You can also see the Manda, which was the northern part of that civilization. You can also see some other sites like Mohenjo-daro, Kot Diji, Chanhudro, Dholavira. and also you can see the Surkota. These are the region which you need to remember from the perspective of examination. But you need to remember that this is the topic related with Indus Valley art. I have only given a brief of Indus Valley civilization. Now we are going to discuss in detail the Indus Valley art. See, when we talk about the art, first you remember to what does it mean when we talk about art. What is the meaning of art? When we talk about the art, we are talking about the creative expression of human thought. Human is a thinking creature and we think creatively. When we think creatively, then we also try to express ourselves creatively, and this unique expression can be seen in various fields. Like we can express ourselves in the form of architecture, that is, we can build some building creatively. We can also build towns creatively. We can also make some kind of sculpture like bronze sculpture, terracotta sculpture and stone sculpture. We can also express ourselves in other ways, like it can be depicted in fashion, it can be depicted in jewelry, it can be depicted in seals, etc. That is the reason why whenever you are asked in exam, write about the elements of art in Indus Valley civilization, so these are the points which you need to remember. These are the points which are important for exam perspective, and whenever it is asked elements of art, you will write about the architecture, that is the town planning of Indus Valley civilization. You need to remember the drainage system of Indus Valley civilization. You need to remember about public and private buildings which were there in the Indus Valley civilization, like granaries, dockyard and the private houses like have bathrooms. You also need to remember about sculpture like bronze sculpture, terracotta sculpture, stone sculpture and some examples of these. Also there are some miscellaneous arts like jewelry, cosmetic, pottery, seals, etc. So these are the points we are going to discuss in detail whenever we talk about the Indus Valley art. Now one by one I will talk about this. First of all, you need to remember about the salient features of Indus Valley art. There are some important features which we see in this period of art. Like first point which is important is that this was the art which was indigenous in nature. You need to remember about the historiography. We were ruled by the British for several years, like 100 years or more than 100 years. You need to also remember that when British were ruling upon us, they were, like you can say, they were explaining or they were trying to say that we Indians were not that developed as the Britishers are. That is the reason why when these Harappa and Mohenjo-daro sites were excavated, the Britishers were giving a thought that this was not an indigenous civilization, rather than it was inspired by Mesopotamian civilization. That is the reason why in historiography, whenever we talk about the imperial historiography, in imperial historiography, it was given a thought that this Indus Valley civilization art was also inspired by the Mesopotamian art. But if we go through the today's research, it is clear that this was the art not inspired by the Mesopotamian art, but you need to remember that it was a indigenous art which was inspired by the local cultures. That is the first important point. Now the second one is it has negligible external influence, that is developed from the local culture and inspired from the local cultures. That is the second point. Also you need to remember the third important point, that is in that art we find sculpture art differently. What does that mean? In next classes, whenever you read about the other forms of art like temple art, like medieval art, then you will find that in India, generally the architecture and the sculpture part both have been developed simultaneously. That is, in a temple you will find not only the architecture, that is the building, but also you will find the sculpture that was on their buildings. But in Indus Valley civilization, you will get to know that the architecture forms and the sculpture form both have been used separately, both are separate and they both have been developed separately. That is, the town planning is separate, the buildings are separate, and the sculpture part is separate. This is the other important factor you need to remember. Also, you need to remember about what were the emphasis in this art, you can say. Like in this art, there has been emphasis upon the utility part rather than the aesthetics part. What does that mean? Now you need to remember that we should need to compare that art with other contemporary forms, like, as I said, it is the oldest Bronze Age civilization. There were two other Bronze Age civilizations too. First was the Egypt one. First one, the Egypt, and second was the Mesopotamia. First was the Egypt, the second was the Mesopotamia, and third that Indus Valley civilization. When we go through, or you will read about the Egypt or Mesopotamian civilization, you will get to know that in this civilization, the ruling class was building bigger pyramids, ruling class was building bigger temples. But in the Indus Valley art, you will not get to see these kind of structures, like we do not see any kind of pyramid structure, or also we do not see any kind of temple structure. That is the reason why it is said, or it is assumed, since we are not able to decipher the script of Indus Valley civilization, the scholars has assumed that the elite class or the ruling class which was residing in the Indus Valley region was more utilitarian, was more pro-people, and they did not want to spend money on aesthetics like the bigger building, but they have given emphasis upon the durability of the building, the utility of the building, and that is the other important feature of that art. You need to remember, whenever it is a question which is asked that kindly write about the salient features of Indus Valley art, these are the points you need to remember, and if you write these points in the exam, you will get very well marks. So these are the important factors. Now moving upon. Now the first thing of main elements of town planning. This topic is also important from ancient history point of view. You would have read about it in your ancient history classes. So in this art and culture class, I will only tell about briefly of this town planning. You will get to know about it in your ancient history class in more detail. Now I will like to tell you that whenever a question is there on town planning, these are the important points which you need to remember. Just remember these points, and whenever there is a question on town planning, just write it. Like whenever we say that there is a riverside civilization, that means the various forms, the various sites, the various cities were riverside. They were residing a riverside. There was also a grid pattern which we'll see like this. The roads were intersecting at right angles, and the positioning of the houses, you can say, was like this. You can also say in this is the grid pattern, or in that pattern the roads were intersecting at right angle. If I would like to tell about the layout of the city, generally the city was divided in two areas with such expansion, like there was a citadel and a lower town. You can see like this, there was a citadel and a lower town. In the citadel area, the people who were related with the who were related with the ruling class were generally residing, and in the lower town the general people who could be merchants, who could be farmers were residing. There were other miscellaneous buildings too, like there were private buildings, there were some religious building, there were some cultural building too, and all the big buildings we get to see the burnt bricks were used. Now I would like to show some important features of this architecture. Like I said that the city layout was divided generally in two parts, that is the citadel part and the lower town part. Two parts there were. The division of town was generally into citadel and the lower town. Now, as I have told you, since we have not able to decipher the Harappan script, that is the reason why the scholars have argued or assumed that in the citadel part there used to be a living of which the ruling class or the priest class, and in that lower part who were living, to the general pupils were living. It was also the fortified area. Now it is not clear for which means that fortified area was there were for some kind of protection or to divert the flood water, that is not clear. Maybe both could be the reason. So the first important thing you need to remember is the city layout, which was generally divided into two parts, citadel and lower town. Now moving forward, we also get to know about the public bath, which was very famous, and it has been found in Mohenjo-daro. That is the public bath or the great bath which has been found in Mohenjo-daro. It is the image which you can see. It has been used for, perhaps it was being used for religious purposes. The bath was probably used publicly for religious rituals or some sacred work. You also need to remember that in that burnt brick floor it was there. There is a huge well in the adjacent room from which water was poured into the tank. Streets and rooms were also built around it, and stairs were arranged in the north and south direction to get into the reservoir. There you also find the proper disposal of used water. These are the basic points which you need to remember. In ancient history classes you will get to know about detail of these. Like there is also some features of granary which we find in Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. It used to be an important structure, like you can see in that image. In the granary part, the scholars has assumed that some kind of granary, like you can say it has been excellent constructed, and it has also a means of ventilation and harvesting crops. Crops were there and it was harvested there. Basically this can be used for taxation purpose, or also it can be used as a measure of drought. Like, so this is also important from the point of view of exam. Now you also need to remember that we have also found a dockyard in the Lothal area, that is in Gujarat. This is the dockyard where trade relation with Mesopotamia and other region you can see, which was used for various kind of ships. They used to get there, like, and a wide gateway you can see there through which ships used to pass. It was connected with a river that is called a Bhogwa river through a canal, and through this water used to enter the dock. There is also a channel which was 1 meter wide in the southern wall to drain off the excess water. It used to be a famous port which has trade relation with Mesopotamia. So these are the some general point you need to remember. Now you also need to remember, whenever we talk about the Indus Valley civilization, the drainage system is also up to the mark. It was so high standard that in Europe, even in till 19th century, that kind of drainage system was not there in Europe. What were the features? It has the covered drain. It used to having a main hole, dustbin, sanitation, water management system and water harvesting system. In this picture you can just assume how up to mark this system used to be. Like, So whenever you were asked about the town planning, you also need to know about the drainage system, and this shows how Indus Valley person or the Harappan person were aware about or were thinking about the sanitation, just like we are thinking today about sanitation in our Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan can be compared with that drainage system. Like now I am talking about the, previously I was talking about the architecture part. Now I am going to talk about the some other forms of art which were there in Indus Valley civilization. This is the Indus Valley sculpture and other art which you need to remember. Whenever we talk about the sculpture, so we find various examples of sculpture in Indus Valley civilization. Like we have the stone sculpture, like we have the terracotta, like baked clay. It is called the baked clay. We also have the example of bronze sculpture in Indus Valley civilization. There were some other arts too, like we have the pottery, we had the jewelry and cosmetics, and we also get to see the example of seals in Indus Valley civilization. One by one we will talk about it. First, when we talk about the stone sculpture, you need to remember that there are various examples which we found in Indus Valley civilization. They generally are three-dimensional figures, and they have been found in various postures. They have been made with various materials like red sandstone and limestone. And the most important feature or the most important example of this is the bearded man or that priest king. Basically, there are two examples which you need to remember, which can be asked in exam. First is that bearded man or the priest king, and the second one is the naked male torso which has been found. So both two examples you need to remember. One by one I get into it. First, when we talk about the bearded man or the priest king, so the figure you can see there, it has some feature which you need to remember. First thing, it is draped in a shawl. You can see it is draped in a shawl which has been decorated with trefoil pattern. This is the trefoil pattern. Also you can see how it has elongated half closed eye. Also it looks like it is in a meditative state. It is a very well formed mouth and nose. Also you can see that it has a trimmed, very well trimmed, you can see a beard, which talks about the fashion sense of Indus Valley civilization. You can also see its hair which are parted and very well combed. Also you can see a armlet, you can see there is an armlet, and also there is a fillet round his head like this. So these are the features which can be asked, which talk about the Indus Valley art in bearded man, that is called a priest king. Now the second example is related with the male torso which has found in Harappa. It was made with the material of red sandstone. There is, you can see the image of that male torso. See, it is assumed that it has a socket. It has a socket, so that its other body parts could have been, you can see, this is the body part. They can be chipped away, and also you can see that how this was made. Okay? So this is the thing you need to remember. Now bronze sculpture, talking about the bronze sculpture, there is a specific technique which has been used in the bronze sculpture. As I have told you that this bronze was an amalgamation of copper and zinc. A specific technique was used in lost wax technique. This is the lost wax technique which can be used, you can see in even today, which is relevant even today. When we talk about the lost wax technique, it is a very important technique and it is used even today. It has a simple purpose, like first we take a wax figure and then we cover it with clay. The figure is then heated to melt the wax, and then the wax is drained out through a hole in the clay. When we have a hollow clay was filled with the metal, Then after we clay was moved and a desired male figuring is there. The example of this is dancing girl and a buffalo with an uplifted head. You can see that dancing girl image there. This is the dancing girl image. This is the sculpture which is very famous. It is today in Delhi Museum. You can also see its other features, like it has been found from Mohenjo-daro. It is a 4-inch bronze figure. It has a long hair tied in a bun. You can also see its arm covered with various kind of bangles. You can also see some kind of necklaces it has there. She is worn. She is almost naked and situated, or you can see that she is there in a traditional Indian dancing gesture which is called the Tribhang. What is called? The Tribhanga posture. Tribhanga posture. Tribhanga posture is there. It has been asked in UPSC, that Tribhanga posture, where we bend the body in 3 different parts, from head, from there and there. This is the Tribhanga posture. So these are the features you need to remember. Also, when we talk about the sculpture part, we also found some terracotta images there. The sculpture, the most important point is the mother goddess. Although you need to remember that this terracotta is less refined than the bronze sculpture, they have been made by a specific method which is called a pinching method. In that pinching method, we use our thumbs and other parts of fingers, and we try to make a figure with clay. Whenever we bake a clay, that is called a terracotta. The most important and most, you can say, the most important example of terracotta figure is that mother goddess. Other than mother goddess, we also found toy sculpture mating like wheels, whistles, disc, birds and animal. There you can see the example of these. Now talking about the other important parts of Indus Valley art, the most important example of Indus Valley art is the seals. They are generally made from statite, which is a kind of soft stone. In most of the seals, we also found the pictorial script. There you can see the pictorial script. Although we are not able to decipher that skill till now. There are various examples of famous seals like Pashupati Shiv seals, like humped bull, like boat motif seal. Since we are not able to decipher the script of Harappan civilization, that is the reason why we generally do not know for which purpose these seals were made. Typically, we assume that they were used for business purposes, some talisman purposes, for education purposes, or some kind of external contact too. In the following figure, you can see the various examples of the seal, like the Pashupati seal. There you can see a person sitting in a yogic posture, and there are various animals around him, like a rhino, you can see, like a tiger you can see. Also you can see a humped bull kind of seal which was very famous in the Indus Valley civilization. Talking about the pottery part is also important in Indus Valley civilization, which was generally red and black. It was also shiny, and that was made of potter's wheel. They were generally made of clay. After that, they were also fire baked. They were painted in that geometrical vegetables, animals and script were also painted on them. There were various uses of these pottery, like for storage, for decoration, for serving wine, etc. So these are the important features you need to remember about this kind of pottery. Along with these art, we also found the various examples of beads and ornaments which have been found in Indus Valley region. There are variety of ornaments which have been found in Indus Valley region. They were used by both men and women. They have been made from precious metals. They have been made from bone and bone clay. The ornaments were worn by men and women, like fillets, necklaces, rings and armlets. These necklaces and the other ornaments were used by both men and women, and they were made by various metals like gold, semi-precious stone, copper or statite. There is a place called Farmana in Haryana where the dead bodies with ornaments have been found that talk about the afterlife practices of Indus Valley civilization. We have also found the bead factories in Lothal and Chanhodro. When we talk about the beads, they have also the various purposes. They have been found from Carnelian, lapis lazuli and statite. They are in various shapes like disc shape, cylindrical and spherical. So these are the important points which whenever we talk about the Indus Valley art, whenever a question is asked in Indus Valley art, you need to remember these points. Whenever a question is asked in Indus Valley civilization, you need to figure out which are the important points you need to remember, which are the important points you need to put in your exam. I hope that today's class will be useful for you. Now in the next class we will go through for another important topics of art and culture. Today that's it for today. Thank you.